everyone, and welcome to session 64 of this YouTube channel. My name is Brianna and I am the dyer, designer, and human behind The Little Wolf Knits and this channel. If it's your first time stopping by, thanks for popping in. I hope you like what you see. And if you're coming back, welcome. It is lovely to see you again, my friend. It is Tuesday, October 29th. Wow, that was so quick. It is Tuesday, October 29th, and it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is sunny, but chilly. It is fall. It's almost Halloween. So I'm super cozy inside today, and I am so excited to be here with you. I have finished a few things, but I have also been working on a bunch of things, much more that I'm typically working on. So I'm super excited to chat with you and honestly maybe sort of think through a plan of attack here before I get overwhelmed with all of my whips. But I hope you can join me for the fun. Grab something, a project, a cup of something, get cozy, and let's jump in. I'm not wearing anything knitted today, which is wild. So I will be skipping the what I'm wearing section, and let's just chat for a quick second about some admin updates before we get to the making. It is the end of October, which means our pigskin party challenge is coming to a close, and I cannot believe it. That month absolutely flew by. And if you've been partaking, make sure to tag me in your posts. I've been checking in on the Ravelry thread, but if you're posting on Instagram, make sure to give me a tag. I love to see what you're making. And even though Rhinebeck has passed and it is over, the Rhinebeck Rumpsmal is not over yet. We still have a few more weeks through Thanksgiving to get through all of our bottom garments. Gives you a little bit of time to catch up, finish up on some of the things that maybe you didn't get as much work done as you thought you would. And make sure to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag RhinebeckRumpsmal24 so I can see all of your posts, and also so that you can be entered for some of the prizes coming up in just a few weeks. I just painted my nails. This is not an admin, but I just painted my nails. This is OPI Bonfire Serenade, and I'm already denting them and moving polish around as I move my hand. So I'm going to try to do that less. The only other admin thing that I will say is I know we are well into the fourth quarter of our Wolfpack memberships. Although you can join at any time, we are going to do a fun little December opportunity. We did this last year. It was a really fun opportunity for folks to get a little bit of extras in addition to what I do in December during the month of Vlogmas, the month of Vlogmas, that's what it feels like. To get a little bit of extras behind the scenes, we do a nightly, not everybody watches a movie every night, but we have a holiday movie calendar. Then we do some knit nights on Zoom and some fun activities, book clubs. But it is just a really nice opportunity to sample out the Wolfpack membership if you're not sure whether it's for you or you would like it or you don't want to commit to a full quarter. It's a cool opportunity to just hop in for a month, try it out, and see how you feel. And it's a really great time to get in because if you join, there's still time to get in for the second annual Little Wolf Knits Wolfpack retreat that will be happening this coming February. So keep your eyes out for that. There will be a listing coming in the next few weeks to sign up for a December special of the Wolfpack membership. But that is all that I have administratively. So let's just hop into what I finished. Last week, I was hoping that I would have 2 FOs, and I was right. I finished up, honestly, it feels like I was going to have more, but I'm a little confused about what I finished. But I did finish another Musselburgh hat. This is a pattern by Ysolda Tigue. I've been making many of them for gift knitting, which is awesome. And this is my colorway 3 days later. On my Sunfish base, there are a few more, at least one more skein of this in the shop. When I started working with it, someone grabbed at least 1 or 2 of them. But I think there's one more skein ready to ship if you were looking for that on my Sunfish base. And I just blocked this. Actually, you know what? My nails are wet. I'm not even going to do it. I was going to fold this into itself in case you did not know what this hat looked like. But if you don't, go check out some of my other videos. Go look on Instagram or go check out the pattern on Ravelry. Basically, it is a really long tube that folds into itself and creates this double layer hat that then you can fold up. This one is for my nephew for his birthday, and it's so cute. And I know he's going to be super excited about it. I hope it fits. I think it will. I made the child size, and he is 8. So I think we'll be good there. And I can't wait to see him soon and give this to him. But that's all I have on that. I did not use a full skein. I had lots of leftovers, probably 40 grams or so. So those will go into my leftover bin, which is overflowing and will need to be taken care of soon. But yeah, that's finished object number 1. I also have finished some spinning that I was hoping to finish last time, and I did. It has some spoilers. So if by the time you're watching this, if for some reason you're watching this on Thursday, Halloween, and you have not opened all 30 days of your Beetlejuice October countdown, now would be a good time to pause this video and open all of your minis. But I had the fiber countdown. I finished spinning my first ply, which is half an ounce of colors 1 through 30 in a row. I showed you that last week. This week, I finished my first bobbin of my second ply, which is 1/4 of an ounce of the same colorways 1 through 30, and I threw them all on one bobbin. And here it is. It's so cool. I love the way this day 30 spun up. It looks so different the way I'm spinning it than it does on yarn, but I'm really excited to see how it's just going to flow really nicely into the start of the next color. So this first color, you can't even really see it, is all the way in the middle of this bobbin, but you can imagine there's some light neutrals, greens in there, and I think it's going to be seamless. So I'm super excited, and that means I only have one final bobbin to spin up for this giant, giant combo spin that I'm working on, which we'll talk about in a second when we talk about what else I'm working on. There are a few things I have been working on, which is very, very unlike me, but I don't know what's going on. I've had a little bit of a cast on bug. There are a few things I really want to get done and I don't want to wait. And a few other things that are just sort of on the side projects that don't really have a deadline, which if you know me and you've been here before, you know I don't usually do that too often, and even when I do, I tend to finish those projects fairly quickly. However, because there are other things I really want to focus on, I'm doing my best to only work on those for like movie knitting, in the dark knitting, when I can't work on some other things. So the first thing I have to show you, and what has been getting the most love, is in a bag from the Coven collective, and you've seen it before, but it looks quite different than the last time you've seen this. I have gotten a lot of work done. So this eggless egg salad progress keeper right here is where you saw this project last time. I had just started on the first round of the cable charts, and I have since worked about 10 or so inches. This is so addicting. This is the Maurizio sweater from Knitwearbyjoan. And I'm working this up in my birthday suit on Opti, which is just a super plump worsted weight base, 4-ply, and I really love it. Even for cables and stitch definition. And it's on a slightly smaller needle than the actual circumference, so you can't see how large it really is. But I have been loving every second of this. I am working on it pretty much as often as I can, even in the car, while we're watching movies. As long as I can be in daylight or some sort of light and glance down at what I'm doing and have my phone with me to look at the charts, this is getting lots of love. I am almost done with the body, and my hope is to finish the body this week and begin the split for the front and back panels. That would be, I think, a good goal to be at. And I would ideally like to finish this entire sweater in November, which I thought was going to be unlikely. However, seeing how much work I've gotten done on this at this point, it might be more likely than I originally thought. So we'll see how far I get. I think the instructions, you start on the front panel first, although I'm not 100% sure. Whichever panel I start with, hopefully I am well into that the next time that you see me. And now that I have shown you this, I'm going to go ahead and move my egg salad progress keeper up to where I am now. And then I'm keeping this donut. I think it's like a maple donut progress keeper. From both of these are from Itty Bitty Delights. And yeah, I'm just loving that one. That was my work from last night while we were watching the movie, so I will move that one up as well. So that is my first whip. And although the deadline is not until Christmas, like I said, I would love to finish it in November, and I'm really, really enjoying working on that. I don't consider myself a huge cable knitter, I think because I don't wear cables that much, but there's something about following a chart that's like, let me just get to the end of this chart, the end of this section, the end of this increase or decrease piece, that you can't stop knitting. It reminds me of self-striping, where you'll sort of be like, let me just get to the next row, the next color, let me finish this color. And it's been really fun. So that has been getting most of my attention lately. However, I do have one other whip that you have seen already. Have you seen this actually? You've heard me talk about it and you've seen the yarn. I'm not sure. I think I started it. You haven't seen this because I started it right after I finished this one. So you haven't seen it. Oh, that's fun. This is in my Snickle and Mr. B Halloween bag from this year, which I love. And it was the same bag that I had this Musselburgh hat in because I am making another Musselburgh hat. This is my Sirius black colorway on my Sunfish base, and this is going to become a hat for my brother-in-law. And I cast this on last Tuesday, worked on the crown, and got it done before we went to the movies. I think I did a few inches in the movies, and since then, I've just been picking it up and working on it whenever I'm doing something that I can't look at my knitting. So I'm just an inch here and there chipping away. I'm making an adult medium, and this is for my brother-in-law. And I love, love, love how it's working up. I did a fair amount of work on it, even though I haven't been focusing on this too much. So that makes me pretty happy. And I put a little sprinkled donut progress keeper on here for where I showed you. So I will move that one up. And then I have my pumpkin on here for me for my daily progress. I just dented my nail. I knew I was going to do it. So I will move both progress keepers up. And we will see how much I get done on this by next week. I will be working on it today while I'm working. And then tonight we are watching a movie at home, so I'll probably work on my sweater. But over the next few days, I anticipate a few times where I'm either needing out and about knitting or needing what I call knit in the dark knitting, even if it's not in the dark, basically just knitting where you're not looking at your work. And this will get some love. The last knitting project that I have been working on, I have spent maybe half an hour on total, but it was something that I've really been itching and dying to get started, and I finally did. This is in another Snickle and Mr. B project bag. I love them. I love their bags. I say this all the time. This I believe I got last year, and it's a little spooky because there's spiders and whatnot, but pumpkins also, this feels very autumnal, so I feel like I can continue using this through November. I'll probably retire. I don't know. I'm trying to embrace like fall, but also Michael and I have a lot of scary movies that we haven't watched in October, so we're thinking about extending that through November and making up our own rules. So we'll see when I switch over my project bags, but for now, I am loving them. And in here, pretend you didn't see that, I have two colorways that they're both a secret. They're a surprise. I cannot tell you the name, but I will tell you that along with some of the other colorways you've been seeing that I cannot tell you the names for, they will be available to you in less than 2 months. Is that right? About 2 months. But you will learn about them in less than 2 months. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter if you're not already so you can learn about all of these colorways. But we have one variegated colorway on my Sunfish base and one tonal colorway on my Buoy base. And I am holding the two of these together for a really fun collaboration that will be coming at the beginning of next year. And you can see them held together and knit up. And surprise, this pattern is going to be garter. And I really, really like this. That's all, just saying. You'll see it. It will be a sweater. I am working on the knitted version. And my friend MC of Blame the Knots is working on the crochet version. And if you don't follow her, make sure to give her a follow and go check out her YouTube channel because she is way farther along than I am in her progress. And you can see what she has done so far. But yeah, I'm super, super loving this. And I think I'm happy with the gauge. I could try, I think I'm pretty happy with the gauge. I was gonna say I could go up a needle, but I like where we're at. And I love the squish factor. It's beautiful. I just wanted to, this gauge swatch is very, very tiny because it was mostly for color. I wanted to see the colors held together more than the gauge itself because I know my gauge with these two yarns. But that has just gotten a very, very, very little bit of love. But I wanted to get it going and I wanted to start doing some math so that once I get to the front and back separation on my Maurizio, I might cast this on. And then this would be my sort of mindless, I can do in the dark for most of it knitting. So it would also be cool if my Musselburgh was further along than it is now. But I'm not going to wait until that's fully done to cast this one on because this is a design and I want to get it going once I have the math done. Super excited. The only other thing that I have been, I guess there's two other things that I have been working on, but they are both spinning. One of them will be a surprise and the other one I've already talked about. I'm not going to show it because again, it's spoilers. You've already seen it, but I am working on the fourth bobbin and the final bobbin of my second ply for my Beetlejuice inspired combo spin. And I'm super excited. I'm only on the third day for that one. And I would like to do 4 colors a day to get it done pretty much within this week. However, I'm already behind because I started yesterday. And I did 2 colors yesterday. So we'll see how things go. If I get behind, it is okay. I will have this weekend, hopefully, to do a lot of spinning, but I would love to be finishing this up and plying it in the next week or so, because I have lots of other things that I want to spin. Lots of other things. And I was originally thinking that I would spin this in October and then spin my Scooby-Doo spin in November, and then I have 2 advents coming in December. But I've been rethinking my plans a little bit, and I think I am going to start my Scooby-Doo once I'm done with this, but it gives me a little bit more time to spread that out rather than feel like it has to be done during the month of December alone. And then or November, and then I have 2 other things. Because what I learned about myself when I open advents, I actually like to spread out my enjoyment and open them during the time you're supposed to open them. And then I don't use them until after that time. And I don't know why I was pressuring myself to do anything differently with fiber, because I can get just as much pleasure extending that time out, opening them during the month of December, but then working on them later that month or January and February. So no stress here. I'm super excited, but I'm really excited. And that's what's driving me to want to spin on this and get it done. The other thing that I've been spinning on might be a bit of a surprise if you've been here, because you know this one doesn't get worked on too much. But I have my Bobbin Spindle from Carrie Cherry, and this is my Grand Canyon colorway on Rambouillet fiber, and I picked it back up, and I did just barely, maybe 15 minutes of spinning on this, but I really feel motivated, like I want to get this one done. Again, this bobbin is feeling a bit full, so I was originally thinking I might try and fit this on and then change the bobbin out, but if I'm not enjoying it because the spindle is too heavy with this bobbin on it, I might just break it and start another one. It would be nice not to, because this is the end of half of the fiber, so it would be cool to have 3 little bobbins for one half, 3 bobbins for another half. But as I say that, I don't plan on plying this on itself, so I guess it really doesn't matter. So maybe I need to stop putting pressure on myself to keep it all on one bobbin and pack this more, and just start a new bobbin. And then I'll probably work on it more than I have been. This will be my 3rd bobbin, like I said, and I have a bunch more. At this point, I think I definitely have 1, because I got 4 originally, and then I think I ordered 2 more. So I have 6, or I ordered 4 more and I have 8. Either way, I have a lot more bobbins, and I would love to get this spin done. I have not picked up my Bosworth spin because my plan was to focus on this, and maybe that will be part of what I also focus on this November. But that is everything that I've been working on. It is a lot. I usually am a 1 whip girly, so this is a little overwhelming, but I'm trying to remind myself that it's okay. Things don't need to get done immediately. It's okay to keep things on the needles a little bit longer and have multiple options for what I can turn to when the timing is right. Other than that, let's just chat for a quick second about what's in the shop. Not too much has changed in the shop between this week and last week. However, we are heading into a new month, which means our October clubs are no longer available. I think I do have some extras that have been dyed up. So if you missed out and you really, really wanted Transponster or Buy a Bar, send me an email and we can chat. But otherwise, those colorways are no longer available. And our November clubs will be starting tomorrow. If you're watching this today on Thursday, when this comes out, tomorrow the clubs will be live. If you're watching this anytime after November 1st, our November clubs will be live. I actually don't have them with me yet because, to be honest, they're not dry. And I didn't skin them up and take photos. But I have dyed them and they are really good. So if you're curious, go check out in the shop. You will be able to see, again, November 1st, moving forward, the inspiration palette for my clubs. Our November club for How I Met Your Mother is legendary. And I don't just mean it's legendary because it's good. I mean, the colorway name is legendary. And it is very good. So that is super awesome. And then our Friends Inspired Club is the Holiday Armadillo. And it is so, so great. Both of those will ship out at the end of November and arrive at the beginning of December, which is perfect for a holiday December winter cast on. So grab those now. If you're not sure and you want to wait until you see the colorways, the image of the colorway should also be in the listing by now, by the time you're watching this. But stay tuned and I will show you them on the podcast next week. Other than our November clubs, we have officially retired our October Beetlejuice inspired colorway, Ghost with the Most. If you missed out on it, I'm so sorry. You should pay attention when I say last call for like a million weeks, but there might be literally one or maybe two skeins left over by the time you're watching this. So if you were really, really upset, send me an email and we can chat. Our super shitty December single day skeins are still available. If you're upset you missed out on October, don't do it again for December. You can still grab yours. And I am finishing the last few days of minis, which means that by next week, I should have a good sense of how many leftover extra countdown boxes we will have in the shop, and they will be available. Again, if you want them, make sure you're following me on Instagram, turn on my notifications, make sure you're watching this channel, these videos as soon as you can, and make sure that you're subscribed to my newsletter because that is probably the order that I will talk about them, and there will only be a few. So make sure you're up to date in all the ways I said if you wanted to grab one of the extras. And then our Valentine inspired boxes, they are inspired by How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, are still available in the shop, and y'all have been loving them. I'm super excited. I know I'm not planning to start dyeing them yet, but I'm doing some color inspiration already, and I'm really, really excited. We also have our Tailgate Party collection that's still in the shop, and I will say a last call on your spooky yarns before they get retired for next year. That's all the yarn that's in the shop for now. And I haven't acquired anything since we spoke last. So let's just talk for a second about life. Life continues to be super busy. I cannot believe it is October 29th. Like, when did that happen? Wild. Since we spoke last, a few things we have watched. We saw Smile 2, and it was so good. If you like Smile 1, I think you will like Smile 2 even more. I was worried that the trailer gave away some of the best jump scares, and I was wrong. Michael and I were gasping, we were jumping, we were flinching. There were moments, I don't know if you're ever see scary movies in the theater, but there are usually moments after most of the theater has been scared where there's this like moment of release where people will like giggle or chuckle or be like, oh, out loud. And that was definitely happening a lot in this movie. It was so great. We haven't watched too many other scary movies that I can recall. We watched 28 Days Later. We watched Werewolves Within. And we watched the final episode of American Horror Stories anthology series. But other than that, we actually headed down the shore on Friday. We went to dinner and watched the first game in the World Series. We are Yankees fans. I'm a Yankees fan. We don't watch a lot of baseball, but growing up as Yankees fans. So we watched that on Friday. On Saturday, we had a day where we were doing lots of house stuff. I was doing some computer work. I did a lot of knitting and spinning, a lot of spinning. And that night we went to a Halloween party where we all dressed up as Mystery Inc., the gang. I was Velma, my mom was Daphne, Mickey was Fred, Michael was Shaggy, and Rocco was Scooby. And we went to a local brewery called Heavy Reel, and they were having a Halloween party. They had a costume contest. It was super fun. We won third place. We were hoping to get first or second, but that's okay. The people who did win first place and second place were really, really great. So we felt good losing to them. And then we went home and finished watching the second Yankee game in the World Series. I fell asleep on the couch, I'll be honest. Sunday, again, was kind of a lazy, do things around the house, caught up on YouTube and a lot of knitting, which is great. My mom, we did a lot of reading too this past weekend, so I finished The Housemaids Watching. I don't think I had finished that last time we spoke, and I started reading The Teacher by Frida McFadden. Mickey is currently reading The Housemaid's Secret. My mom felt left out, so she started reading The Housemaid's Secret, which is the second one in the trilogy. I took her iPad, I said, you cannot read the second book, you will be so confused. I opened up the first book and said, read this one. And she read the entire book in less than 24 hours. She was so hooked, and me and Mickey were having a lot of fun kind of reading over her shoulder, or she was gasping and saying things, and we were like, what part are you on? So that was super fun. I'm about halfway through The Teacher, and it is very interesting. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, as they normally do in Frida McFadden books. One has already dropped, but it was early. It was like 30% in. So I'm not sure if there will be another twist, but I think I know where it's going. Ooh, and it's very interesting. Tonight we are watching a movie at home. I think we're watching Get Out or Us or the next few days. And then Trick or Treat is what we're going to watch on Halloween night. So I'm super excited. Other than that, a lot of yarn dyeing, a lot of computer work, getting our Bayside shirt, skirt, and dress into testing, and getting prepared because we're going to have company this weekend. And I'm super excited for that. We'll be doing some fun stuff. We'll be doing some normal life stuff, just working as usual. But Bacon Fest is happening in Easton this weekend. If you're local, you should go check it out if you haven't. But our plan is to go hit that up one of the days. We're not sure which. So that will be fun, and we'll have lots to talk about next time. But other than that, there isn't too much to report on the life front. So until next time, take care of each other. Bye.